How annoying would it be if every arc in your favorite anime had the last 2 episodes cut off? Well, that is just one of the ways that Netflix is ruining the Pokemon anime experience for fans. Because ever since Netflix got the rights to the Pokemon anime in the USA, beginning with Pokemon Journeys in 2019, the distribution of the show has devolved into a hot mess. First, it's no secret that Netflix's batch release model, where they release entire seasons of a show in one drop, utterly destroys the hype cycle of any series it touches. For example, when the live-action adaptation of One Piece debuted on August 30, 2023, it broke more records than a Machop at a music shop, and everyone was talking about it. But just 2 weeks later, nobody cared since all the episodes had already come out. And that is just sad since the show would have been in the public eye for a couple months if it came out weekly. The batch release model also destroyed the hype cycle for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean, a show that practically begs to be discussed by fans from week to week. And the issue is 10 times worse for Pokemon. A show that isn't a short series or a seasonal anime, but a show that's specifically designed to be watched every week, keeping fans engaged with the Pokemon universe while selling merch and video games. Even worse, not only does the batch release model kill the week-to-week buzz around the show, but it makes an anime that already has slow pacing feel even slower. It torments kids since 3 months is basically 3 years in kid time, and to top it all off, the batches were cut up by a blind butcher, with many of them stopping right in the middle of important story arcs, like when they cut the first Pokemon Journeys batch after part 1 of a 2-parter, or when they cut the second Pokemon Horizons batch just 2 episodes before the first major climax. And all this is after American fans waited forever to get their hands on Pokemon Horizons, which was first announced in English on November 29th, 2022 and released in Japan on April 14th, 2023, but did not arrive in the USA on Netflix until March 7th, 2024. To compare to another weekly anime, the Mandarin dub of One Piece released in Taiwan is usually just 5 or so episodes behind the Japanese originals, not 41 episodes. A gap that might have been acceptable in the 90s when most households didn't even have internet, but nowadays, every episode of every anime gets spoiled online everywhere in the world within hours of its release in Japan. And even the Pokemon company knows this, which is why the official American Pokemon account spoiled Ash winning the World Championship just hours after the episode was released in Japan and a full 7.5 months before the English dub stumbled onto Netflix. So even the official accounts are expecting English-speaking fans to keep up with what's happening in Japan. And this is especially disappointing considering that the Japanese to English gap was actually getting shorter with every generation in the pre-Netflix era. The current lag just doesn't make sense in a world where the internet exists, and combined with the sloppy batch releases, the Netflix era is really hurting the Pokemon anime for both hardcore fans and families. Not to mention that it's hurting the Pokemon company itself since piracy runs rampant, and the timing of their cross-promotional campaigns gets absolutely screwed by the English release schedule. Like when the Arceus Chronicles, a Pokemon Journeys special created to promote the release of Pokemon Legends Arceus, did not make it to Netflix USA until 8 months after the game came out. Obviously, Netflix isn't entirely to blame for the situation, but 3 things both Netflix and the Pokemon company can do to fix the situation are: 1. Release a subtitled version of the anime the same day as the Japanese originals to curb piracy and align global audiences. 2. Start working on the English dub earlier in the production pipeline so that it can actually be released in a timely manner. And 3. Stop using the silly Netflix batch release schedule that was designed for 8-episode dramas, and release Pokemon the way it's meant to be watched, once a week, every week. Now check out this video right here.